Uja, do it for joining in. Uben Nefer. Just waiting a few moments for some more people to join us. It's been a wonderful sunrise so far. Great awakenings. I'm gonna have a sip of water. Wants to get closer. All right, Uja, Uben Nefer, do it for joining today. Welcome to today's edition of Ancient African Adorations. We are following the Niterian calendar, and today is the day for the festival Feast of Maat. And so we're going to be offering some Kemetic chants, some originals, some from the Temple of Shatau-Neter, Temple of Aset. And we're going to be studying the 10 Virtues of Maat. So I'm going to start with an offering to 3 netters. We're advised to make YouTube song requests. If I know them, ancient Egyptian Kemetic Hekau is the focus. I haven't started doing my reggae music streaming yet, but I will someday. So yes, if you have a request that I know, I'll be happy to offer it for you. For now, I'm going to start with an offering for 3 netters, Nebuchadnezzar, Kepera, and Asar. We're instructed to offer individual songs, but on days like this, I have a song that combines 3 in 1. And so the main line in this song is Ma'at Pu'u An Nemu Nemu. And that means no matter what's going on, remain in the stillness. That is one of the objectives of this practice, is that we can remain in stillness. And the teachings that I'm sharing with you, I learned from Sima Institute, Temple of Shatau-Neter, Temple of Aset, under the leadership of Seva Ma and Seva Ja. So any of you from the temple are watching this replay or tune into the broadcast, do a Seva Ma and do a Seva Ja. Oop, I went into the one, never mind. I'm going to do the one that combines the 3 in 1, not that one. Om Nebuchadnezzar Kepra sorrow. Om Nebuchadnezzar Kepra sorrow. Om Nebuchadnezzar Kepra sorrow. Kepra Sarom. Om Nebja 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 Kepra Sarom. Nebja Kepra Sarom. Om 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 Nebja Kepra Sarom. Nebja Kepra Sarom. Nebja Kepra Sarom. Om Nebja Kepra Sarom. Om is a term most people attribute to the East Indian tradition, and it's actually found inscribed on a temple wall, or is it laid in papyrus? I don't have that information right on me. But Dr. Ashby found its origin inscribed in ancient Kemet and has many meanings. It is like an unknown name or the name for the divine. Yeah. In some traditions, it's the sound. It has different meanings from different places. And then next, I'm going to offer, it's like a Maat trilogy. It's 3 songs in one for the Goddess Maat. The first one is actually for Kepra. So Nebuchadnezzar is the all-embracing, all-pervading spirit that is all, pervades all, and manifests in creation as different cosmic forces known as gods and goddesses. Kepra is the cosmic force. Sar took form as Kepra to actually create creation. There's 3 aspects of Ra. There's Kepra at sunrise, Ra at midday, and Ratem at sunset. And Kepra is the actual creator, and Ra is the creation. And then Asar is when Nebuchadnezzar took the form as a god or goddess in human form and represents the universal soul. And this is the offering um, for 3-in-1. Jura kef tu benefe maketu tembe. Anateza ke itiem kepara. Kepara ke manetu. Kake uben ke pesetu ke. Katiem suten nataru. Irinek muk muk aliyem irini. Manu when the tap to my atata. To what I kept to benefit my kitchen bed. On a chest like ATM capara. Capara came on the two. Kake uben ke pasiluke. ATM suchen nataru. Irinek muk muk adiyem irini. Manu and the tap up to my atata. Mahatan kuma, mahat nebuten, kahinama, aginama, asimama, juamat nebuten. Mahatan kuma, mahat nebuten, kahinama, aginama, asimama, juamat nebuten. Akuma, Duama, Nebuten, Hinama, Ka, Hinama, Simama, Mahatan kuma, mahat nebuten, kahinama, aginama, asimama, juamat nebuten. Mahatan kuma, mahat nebuten, asimama, kahinama, aginama, juamat nebuten. Matan Kuma Maat Nebuten Kahina Maat Agina Maat Asima Maat Dua Maat Nebuten Ankuma Ma Nebuten Ka Inama Inama Si mama Tuama Nebuten Matan Kuma Maat Nebuten Kahina Maat Agina Maat Asima Maat Dua Maat Nebuten 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 Keep my heart as light as a feather Dua Maat Keep your heart as light as a feather Dua Maat To know the difference between the real and unreal Dua Maat To know the difference between the real and unreal Dua Maat Light as a feather Dua Maat Real and unreal Dua Maat Make my heart as light as a feather Nukuma Make my heart as light as a feather Nukuma To know the difference between the real and unreal Nupuan To know the difference between what's real and unreal Nupuan Nupuma Nupuan Nupu light as a feather. To a Maat. Make my heart as light as a feather. Nupuma. I know the difference between what's real and unreal. I know the difference between what's real and unreal. Light as a feather. Napuma. Real and unreal. Napu and poo. Juama. Juan Nikuma. Napuan Juama. Nikuma. Juama Athatep. So a little information on that Hekau. I think we got a few comments here. Oh, I'm so glad you're enjoying the instrument and the music. And thank you for joining me, Hatep, my beautiful Sen, Patrick. Santi is spiritual sister and Sen is spiritual brother. So the first Hekau, like I said, I know the translation, but I don't want to make a mistake, is from the the Chatau Nectar prayer book from EgyptianYoga.com, Temple of Chatau Nectar. I can't thank them enough for all that has happened for me since I've been studying with the organization. So the translation is adorations to Ra when he rises in horizon eastern, homage to Ra coming forth as Kapna, Kapna, creator of the gods and goddesses. Rising thee, shining thee, lighting up thy mother, rising as Lord, King of the gods and goddesses. Your mother Nut does an act of worship to you with both arms. Manu, the western horizon, receives thee in peace, and Ma'at embraces thee at the double season perennially. And I have an image here of Goddess Maat, and she is holding out her wings to embrace us with justice, truth, righteousness, harmony, balance, reciprocity, Goddess Maat. And I also have an ostrich feather, which is the symbol of Maat. She wears it on as her headdress. I guess I could have put it in my headdress today. Let's see. I've had this feather for a very long time. It's kind of big. There we go. Okay. See it? Guess on YouTube you can't really see it. And then the second Hekau is also from the prayer book. It's part of our daily devotion, part of the daily practice of the temple. And the translation, and these translations are, of course, by Dr. Maud Ashby. Ma'at is the source of life. Ma'at is in everywhere you are. Rise in the morning with Ma'at. Live with Ma'at. Let everyone join with Ma'at. Adorations to Goddess Maat, who is in everywhere you are. And the third Hekau is an original chant that came through me when I was in Kemet I guess that was last spring. Is that spring? Yeah. I was actually in Kemet when COVID hit, when it was just coronavirus back then. And that is about keeping your heart as light as a feather. The symbol for the heart is a vase or a container that is said to store our you, which are our past impressions, impressions from past lives, past life experiences, um, longings, loves, regrets, unfinished business, toxic interactions, toxicity that's remains in our heart until we cleanse and purify our you. Our you is what actually compels us to come back to reincarnate. And one of the goals of spiritual practice is to live in such a way so that you don't have to reincarnate. So if you're constantly purifying your RU, cleaning your heart so that it's as light as a feather, so that when it is, I'm going to have an image here, when it's at the time of your physical death, when your body dies, your heart, that container, is weighed against the feather of Ma'at. And if your heart is filled with regrets or fetters, then you will have to come back. So if you live in such a way that your heart is light as a feather, you don't have to come back. You can just live in eternity. So the song is addressing how when we live in alignment with Ma'at, it keeps our heart as light as a feather, and we don't let our egoism, it'll come up, but we don't let it hold us down or keep us on earth or negative vibration. And so we want to keep our heart as light as a feather by living according to Ma'at principles, virtues, and laws. And then the second line of that song is for Anpu. Anpu is the opener of the ways, removes obstacles to our success in our spiritual practice. And I have a song for Anpu. Let's see, opener of the ways, the messenger between heaven and hell, displaying alternately a face black as night, golden as the day, equally watched by day as by night. Anpu makes our thighs firm so that we may stand upon them. And we want our lips to be as the lips of Anpu, meaning when we speak, obstacles are removed. And when we speak truth. I know I learned from Queen Afua that we want our words to be like lotus blossoms for those to hear our words. Another saying is, truth without kindness is cruelty. And that's one that I'm still working on. All right. And let's see what my song list over here. Just a minute, please. Oh, okay. Of course I remember. Okay. So now this would be a good time for the teachings. And I don't know, I didn't get to post it everywhere, but I did get to post it some places. So today we're going to be working with the 10 Virtues of Maat. You may have heard of the 7 Principles of Maat or the 42 Laws of Maat, which is the origin of the 10 Commandments. Today we're going to be addressing the 10 Virtues of Maat. And they are 1, control of thoughts, 2, control of actions, 3, devotion of purpose, 4, having faith in the ability of your teacher, the master's ability to lead you along the path of truth, to teach you the truth. 5, having faith in my own abilities to assimilate the truth, to accept the truth. 6, having faith and abilities to wield the truth, to live the truth. Let's see, this one is over. And 7, still not great. 7, being free from resentment under the experience of persecution. That's another one that I'm still working on. 8, being free from resentment under the experience of wrongdoing. Cultivating the ability to distinguish between right and wrong, and cultivating the ability to distinguish between the real from the unreal. Okay, so let's just go through those a little bit. And if you have any questions, they will be posted with the replay. So I'm just checking to see if there's any questions here. All right, so from my understanding, which is very limited, and it's expanding, control of thoughts. So the way we can control our thoughts is by remembering that our mind, our limited mind that lives in our brain, is very limited, and it's really just for dealing with our day-to-day reality. And Sivajah teaches that we actually have 3 minds. We have the mind in our brain, we have our infinite mind, which is projecting our reality, our experience. And if we're in alignment with Ma'at, we'll be able to access our infinite mind. And if we're able to access our infinite mind, and we'll keep our mind pure, keep our mind and our thoughts pure, we'll be able to have our infinite mind filled with the cosmic mind of Jehuti. And so that is one way to control your thoughts, is to, when you feel yourself, your egoism popping up, you can snap out of it. There's several ways, through chanting, breathing, meditating, studying, listening to the teachings. Most of all is to remember who you are and access the cosmic mind of Jehuti, the cosmic mind of Nebuchadnezzar, and allow that to fill your infinite mind, and it will override your egoistic mind. Control of actions would be Ma'at Ari, and that means your actions are in alignment with Ma'at. Not only when I first started, I thought that meant as long as it's righteous, your actions are righteous, then you're doing Ma'at Ari. However, that's only part of the truth. The big picture is you perform righteous actions. However, you perform selfless actions, meaning it's not you know that it's not you performing the action, it's divine in you that's working through you that's performing the action. So it's a selfless action or a selfless act, and that is true Ma'at Ari. Control of actions is only possible when you control your thoughts. So they're all connected. Devotion of purpose. So devotion of purpose, a lot of people think, like in my case, I feel like my purpose on life is music, through music, sharing wisdom through music. And I thought that was my purpose. And after many, many moons and many years of studying, I've come to know that the purpose of life is enlightenment. That is the only real purpose in life. Everything else that we do in life should be in alignment with our purpose, which is enlightenment. And it can help us on our way to enlightenment, or it can help us attain enlightenment. But the purpose of these acts, of all actions, is to be enlightenment, is to become enlightened. And there's a lot of theories on that. For a while, I was focused on being enlightened in every moment, remembering to be enlightened, remembering my divinity. And then I realized that that's great. However, the actual purpose is to pure your RU, cleanse your heart so that you don't have to reincarnate. And that is the true enlightenment. You can be enlightened in this lifestyle, I mean, this lifetime. And, if you forget the true purpose, then you have to come back until you remember. So, um, so I had to reformulate how I do my music to be in alignment with that. So the reason I do music, I write songs, I play music, I like to perform, others like to share my music, is so that it's helping me on my spiritual journey to enlightenment and spiritual victory. And that these actions, the presentation, the actions involved, the sharing, everything has to be selfless service to Ma'at, knowing that it's not me doing this, so I don't let my egoism taint the process. Number 4, having faith in the ability of my teacher to teach me the truth, teach me about the truth, and lead me on the journey. So it's very important to have a spiritual preceptor. It's easy to buy books and read them. However, to really get the lessons, the teachings, you should have an actual teacher. So if you don't have one yet, then it's a good time to find one. And of course, I recommend Dr. Moana Ashby, Dr. Karen Ashby at SEMA Institute, EgyptianYoga.com. That's where I got, that's where I learned all of this, and it changed me from within. It changed my mindset, it changed my mind, it changed my heart. And that takes us to number 5, having faith in myself to assimilate the truth, having faith in my ability to accept the truth. Because sometimes some people might tell you something that's true and you might not, want to accept it. And maybe you can't accept it in that moment, but have faith that it will, you will be able to accept it and embrace it. Because sometimes you can hear something and know it's the truth, and yet you still keep living the same way. Like if someone has a health issue and you say, well, you need to drink more water, you need to eat more vegetables, try to cut back on meat, and get fresh air and exercise every day. And they'll be like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. I'm going to do it. And then, when they wake up the next day, they just keep doing the same thing. So it's important not to get down on yourself or give up. Just have faith in your ability to accept the truth and know that since it's true, it'll resonate with you more deeply in time. What I say? In degrees over time, something like that. It's like taking like tiny steps. You may not become a vegan in one day or overnight, but you can, one day a week eat vegan, and then 2 days a week, and then 3 days a week, and then eventually you'll have changed your diet and your lifestyle. So you have to have faith in your own ability to accept the truth. Number 6, having faith in your ability to wield the truth, to live the truth, to stand for the truth, to defend the truth when necessary. That's a tough one because, I'm just talking about in my experience, because the world is not always open to the truth. And it might shut you out, like on talking about social media, you might get banned for speaking the truth. You might get blocked, or someone will unfollow you. Or in personal relations, family members might stop talking to you if you're always talking about the truth. My middle name, my birth name, and my culture name, Uja Ubenefer. My middle name means truth. My birth name, middle name is Allison, which means truth, and then took on my. Okay, someone wants to join in. Took on my spiritual name, cultural name. Amet is Hebrew for truth. And I found that, yes, I was always speaking the truth. And it got to be pretty annoying. Some people were not always happy about that. So that takes me back to the comment about Truth without kindness is cruelty. So having faith in my ability to, as Queen Afua said, let all my words be like lotus blossoms, so that when people hear them, they can receive them and not be offended or insulted or humiliated or anything. Number 7, this is where it's kind of rocky road. What is it when the rubber hits the road? Being free from resentment under the experience of persecution. Being free from resentment. So resentment is one of the fetters of Set, that those lower vibration energies that can weigh down our heart and make our heart heavy. Remember, we want our heart to be as light as a feather. So if we can't be free from resentment, then our heart will be heavy, and it won't be light as a feather, and we'll have to keep coming back until we can learn to live free from resentment. And I have a feeling that's where that expression comes from, turn the other cheek, but that is not what is needed. It's not about turn the other cheek. It's about standing in your truth. What is it? I remain seated on my inner throne, and I cannot be moved. I shall not be moved. Free from resentment. Yeah, that's a tough one. Free from resentment. So it doesn't mean you don't care or it doesn't bother you. It just means it doesn't affect you. Like the song I started to sing at the beginning. Ma pu'u an nemu nemu. No matter what's going on, they could be sending you spiritual darts, or or cursing you out, or accusing you of things, or saying things that are wrong about you. This one gets me in trouble because since I'm always speaking for truth, if someone says something about me personally that's not true, then I'm triggered, and my protector comes out and is like, that's not true. Da, 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 da. This happened to me just the other day. Just one sentence I said, I don't appreciate it when this happens. And, it wasn't kind. It was protecting myself, but it wasn't helping the other person. So obviously I still have a little resentment, to work on that one. I can sense you have so much power. You intimidate others without trying. Yes, that is so true. And I don't always catch it in time. Okay, then the next one, being free from resentment under the experience of wrongdoing. Now that's another really difficult one. If you know my story at all, I'm still recovering from a violation that happened over 35 years ago. And, like if you've been assaulted or violated, or someone has stolen from you, then, you're angry. And it's one thing to be angry, because there is such a justifiable anger, and we do need to hold people accountable in this world and this time. However, that takes us back to this selfless service, selfless action. You have to be able to hold people accountable and speak your truth. And yes, defend or stand for Ma'at. Sometimes you have to stand up for yourself. However, you have to be free from resentment, free from egoism, free from sect. Your heart has to be pure, your mind has to be pure, and you have to be in alignment with Ma'at. If you're not in alignment with Ma'at, if you're responding, you can be angry, but you don't have to react with anger. You can respond with calmness, expressing your anger, but not being angry, not matching the vibration of the person doing the wrongdoing. You want to respond, not react. And that is one that can take a lifetime to master, sure. That's very important. Very, very important. And the last two are a little bit easier. I think 7 and 8 are the most difficult for me personally. Number 9, cultivating the ability to distinguish between right and wrong. And that is one that is attributed to Goddess Heteru, because Heteru was sent to the earth to eliminate the unrighteous. She forgot her divinity, enjoyed her job so much that she took on her form as Sekhmet and began killing people indiscriminately. And it was the cosmic wisdom of Jehuti, divine intellect, that was able to bring her back to her divinity and know the difference between right and wrong, and learn to only eliminate the unrighteous, not the righteous. And Uja, do it for being here. Good rising. Time to rise with Ma'at. And then last but not least, number 10, cultivating the ability to distinguish between the real and the unreal. So that takes us to Anpu, which we offered a little bit earlier, to Anpu. And Anpu is known as discernment and discrimination, not like discrimination whereas you don't deal with people because they're a certain race or gender or nationality, but discrimination between real and unreal. So how can you tell the difference between real and unreal? Real is eternal and unreal is in time and space. Time and space. Unreal is limited. Unreal is the illusion. Even creation is the illusion. The creation that we're in right now, we're living in, is an illusion. For example, this pen right here, it writes. I'm holding it in my hand. I can take the cap off. I can see the color. However, it's made of millions or thousands, 100,000s of particles that are moving around very slowly. And to us, it just appears to be a solid object, but that it's not. Everything is made of the same stuff, of Noon from Nebuchadnezzar, just operating at different frequencies and vibrations. Some are moving fast, some are moving slow, some are hardly moving at all, some are moving so fast we can't even see them. And so the illusion is that this pen is real. So if you have discernment, you're living in alignment with Ma'at, you can tell the difference between real and unreal. So that is the 10 Virtues of Ma'at in a nutshell. And I posted them on Instagram. They will be included in the replay of this video, or the video clip. Maybe not the full replay, but the clip. You will be able to find it. And it's just good to go over these virtues with consistency. I had gotten really good, really faithful about the 42 laws of Ma'at, which we'll cover at another Ma'at session. And most people are aware of the seven principles of Ma'at: balance, truth, order, harmony, justice, reciprocity, and righteousness. However, the 10 virtues are not as well known. Uja, do it for joining. We just did a run through of the 10 virtues of Ma'at, and you can catch them in the replay. So I have 2 more songs to offer. Uja. So this is another Hekau from Ma'at. I'm going to show my energy guys. Let's just pop it down. It's another papyrus of Ma'at. And it shows her with her feather, her wings outstretched, and you can recognize Ma'at by her ostrich feather on her head. And then there's the glyph describing her attributes and her name. And this is, when she's ready to embrace you of truth. And then my son wearing a feather, ostrich feather, which was her symbol. because you want your heart to be as light as this ostrich feather. When your body dies and your heart is weighed against this feather, you want your heart to be as light as the feather or even lighter than a feather. And you will be able to live in eternity. So this next chant is from the Temple of Chatal Nether, Temple of Aset, Dr. Maat Ashby, one of his popular tunes. Well, I guess it's not a popular tune. It is a much loved chant from Maat. Beloved. I want to give the translation first. So Om is an expression that we attribute usually to East Indian culture, but it's also, and it's also found in Nigerian tradition and the, I want to say the Leiden papyrus. Don't quote me on that yet. And it's a name for the divinity, ultimate divinity nature. And then Maati is a term for Ma'at, but it represents the dual goddesses of Ma'at. The dual goddesses of Ma'at are above and below, heaven and earth. Represents Aset and Nebuchadnezzar. Aset is our spirituality, our divine intuition, and Nebuchadnezzar is our mortality and our physicality. And the translation, and then Makaru is true of speech, spiritual victory. So when we're able to be true of speech, then we are experiencing spiritual victory over the inimical forces of Set, over egoism. So it's adorations to Goddess Maat. Let me just to be, I don't want to make any mistakes. Okay, yeah. This adorations is Dua. The one divine self, I guess you could say Om means the one divine self. The one divine self manifesting as the dual goddesses of truth of above and below, heaven and earth, assists us in attaining spiritual enlightenment. And again, some of these chants are found in the Chatal Nether Devotional Worship Manual by Dr. Maat Ashby. Om Mati Materu. 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 keru. Oh, Matima 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 keru. Hey, let's try something a little different. Can you pray for me for health and protection? Yes, I have a perfect offering for that if you can stay to the end. Right now, I'd like for those of you who are willing, or you can just do it silently. I can't hear you, no one can hear you, but I'd like you to participate in call and response. So I'm going to chant the first line, Om Maati Ma'akeru, and then you respond, Om Maati Ma'akeru. Om Maati, M-A-A-T-I, Ma'akeru. Yeah, have a sip of tea here. It's lotus tea. I'll go a little slower. Om Maati Ma'akeru. 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 Call and response. Om Maati Ma'akeru. Maati. Om Maati Ma'akeru. Om Maati Ma'akeru. Om Maati Ma'akeru. The one divine self manifesting as the dual goddesses of heaven and earth, above and below, Aset and Neverhead, assist us in attaining spiritual enlightenment. All right. I was going to close with another Ma'at song, which has been a special request for a song for health and protection. So this is going out to Muhammad and for everyone. This is a special lotus harp, and I keep saying the temple of Edfu. It's the temple of Heru at Edfu. So I could say the temple at Edfu, but not the temple of Edfu. And it's an unusual harp. It's never tuned the same way. So I don't have any set melodies for this one. Oh, no, it's Yasmin. Okay. Okay, I was reading your profile. All right, so this song is going out for Yasmin for health and protection and for everyone tuning in and for the entire universe. This is another hekau we learned from Say by Ma, and the melody came through me. That's I guess you could say a gift. It's my gift is taking spiritual teachings and putting them to music. And it started off with spiritual teachings from Four Directions. And then when I got to Kemet, I've just been in Kemet for 11 years. But I've been on a spiritual cultural journey for 35 years. And um, so here is spiritual wisdom from Kemet. What is the name of the instrument again? The other instrument is called a sepriwa. It's from Ghana. It's a Ghanaian harp, and it's similar to the instruments they played in ancient Kemet. And this one you can purchase it handmade by Louis Afrifa. He's on Facebook and YouTube. I don't know if he's on Instagram. I will post the link to his work. He's a fabulous musician and also, I'd say, craftsman of musical instruments. He makes choras, anything with strings he makes. This is just a lotus harp, not just. This is a lotus harp. So back to the chant. So this was the second song that came through me when I started sending comedic teachings. And someone in the organization had been in a car accident, and Sebai Ma sent out the lyrics to this chant, and this melody came through. So I'll recite the translation. Adorations to Goddess Sekhmet, power of the life force energy. Adorations to Goddess Aset, Lady of Wisdom and Healing Words of Power. Do for this child, Yasmin, and everyone tuning in and the entire universe. Do for this child life, vitality, and health. And I have another one for protection. I think this is all I have time for. We'll just include protection and life, vitality, and health, okay? Dua sekame, dua ase, harimes, aku jasene, dua sekame. Dua ase, arimes, aku jasene. Dua sekame, dua ase. Arimes, aku jasene. Dua sekame, dua ase. Arimes, Do I say Aku jasene dua segmen dua Arimes Aku jasene dua segmen dua segmen Arimes Aku jasene Aku jasene Aku jasene Aku jasene. Once again, the translation. Adorations to Goddess Sekhmet, power of the light force energy. Adorations to Goddess Aset, Lady of wisdom and healing words of power. Do for this child life, vitality, and health. So yes, this program is in honor of Goddess Maat, and Yasmin asked for a special request for health and protection. Greetings to you in Canada. Well, this is now an international broadcast. And we have 1 minute. I'm going to run and get the translation for the protection prayer. I don't have it with me. So just please give me 1 minute. Just a minute. So actually has 2 prayers for protection. So these again are prayers from the Temple of Shaitan Temple of Aset. You can learn more about the wisdom teachings that I've been presenting wisdom teachings and my own reflections and experiences from EgyptianYoga.com. They also have KimAtUniversity.com, EgyptianMysteries.org, Temple of Aset. Just look up EgyptianYoga.com or Dr. Mwada Ashby. Okay, so this one I'm going to use a system. 2 of her staying with me. This musical offering is part of my music Shetty. This is how I'm cleansing my REU. My Kemetic name is Arit Neter Esmeri Maati, which means offering. She makes musical offerings to her tutelary divinity, beloved by the dual goddesses of Maat. And so your presence is a gift. I'm sharing my gift, and your presence is a gift to me. So I'll read the translation first. All words, all spoken about me from outside of me, others saying things about me, and also from inside of me, negative, egoistic self-talk based on fear, anger, insecurity, frustration, etc. The Neteru, those gods and goddesses, together they stand up for me on my behalf. And again, this is going out to you, Yasmin, your special request. Do a sacred mama, do a sacred job. And so this is a sistrum. It's a musical instrument from ancient days, made recently in Abydos. Abdu represents the heart chakra, Heteru, image of Heteru, And the throat chakra, the crown, the first eye, and the crown chakra for eliminating chaos. Sometimes it comes out really loud on the microphone. Let me put down here. And then I have some symbols here, and I'm going to copyright this. Okay, this is me copyrighting this technique of playing the sistrum and the chimes. I think I remembered it from my past life. Nev medu, nev jedu, erasu, ahanetu deniu. 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 So recite Hekalim 4 times. That means for each of the 4 directions. You do 3 more directions: above, below, and within. Nev medu, nev jedu, erasu, ahanetu deniu. Nev medu, nev jedu, erasu, ahanetu deniu. Nev medu, nev jedu, erasu, ahanetu deniu. France. Oh my goodness, this is really becoming an international event. Dua, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate your presence. And then this one isn't usually sung, but I like to sing it anyway. I'll just have a musical accompaniment. So this is from the ancient Egyptian medicine Ebers papyrus, and I learned this also from Say by Ma and Segaja. Supplications to Aset, Ra, and Asar for health and freedom from negative things. And thank you, Yasmin, for reminding me to offer these chants of healing and protection, because Ma'at is certainly about healing and protection. May Aset heal us, as she healed Hedu of all his pains, which his uncle Set had caused him when he killed his father Asar. O Aset, great words of power, heal us, save the one from all the bad, evil, typhonic things, from the demonic and deadly diseases and impurities of all kinds which attack them, as you have saved and freed your son Hedu. As I enter the fire and emerge from the water, may I not fall into that trap of that day, saying, I am small and pitiable. O Ra, you who have spoken for his body, you who have spoken for your body. O Asar, you who pray for your manifestation. Ra speaks for his body. Asar prays for his manifestation. Free us from all possible evil, bad, and typhonic things, from the demonic and deadly fevers of all kinds. Again, that is taken from the ancient Egyptian medicine Ebers papyrus. Dua Say by Ma, Dua Say by Cha. All right, so that is the musical offerings for Ma'at today. I'm going to do a repeat of Maatical Devotion. Some people joined in towards the end. Om Ma'ati Ma'akaru, the one divine self manifesting as the dual goddesses of truth, of above and below, heaven and earth, assist us in attaining spiritual enlightenment. Om Ma'ati Ma'akaru, Om Ma'ati Ma'akaru, Well, thank you for joining me. Take off my glasses now. Thank you for joining me today. It's been my pleasure and honor to present these Maatical musical teachings in honor of the Feast of Maat. And I've been posting the calendar or the schedule of events that are taken from the taken from this wonderful calendar put out by the Temple of Amun. You can purchase it at templeofamun.com. I guess you're going to save up for the one starting in January. It's interesting because this is the year 2021 on the Gregorian calendar. On January, we were still on the year 38,787 on the Kemetic calendar. Since the new year begins in July for the new year, we're now in the year 38,788. Okay, so when people talk about ancient Egypt, they're going back to, when the Greeks came, and people like me, we're talking about 38,000 years ago, or maybe even 260,000 years ago, because of the awareness of the precession of the equinox. So there's some more comments. Random question. I came to say, have a nice day and take care of yourself daily. Love you. Oh, that's not a random comment. I really appreciate it. And I hope the same for you. And so I started this Ancient African Adoration series up again when it dawned on me that I could be following the calendar, because I don't, when I see the day after, I say, oh, I wish I had done something for the Feast of Maat. I wish I had done something for the Lamentations of Aset. And so it came to me to start following the calendar. So I have my calendar here, and I posted the schedule of events for October. And this is a busy weekend. The next one is tomorrow evening at 6:45 p.m. Central, where Ra judges the dispute of Set and Harut. Now that's going to be interesting. I do have a song for Set, but I do not have one for the battle. So that's the battle of egoism and our spiritual aspiration. Set represents egoism and Harut represents spiritual aspiration. The Neteru, the gods and goddesses, yes, there are spiritual ancestors. However, they're also cosmic forces of nature. The word neter comes from nature, and they're cosmic forces of nature of creation. When Kepra created creation, you could visualize the sun and then the rays of the sun. So this is the sun, and then individual rays of the sun represent the different forces of nature, the different gods and goddesses. For instance, we have the cosmic force of magnetism, cosmic force of gravity, the cosmic force of electricity, and then I don't know what the Materian names are for those forces. I'm going to have to look into that. I don't even know. Yeah, I'm going to look into that. Probably Geb is gravity. Yeah. I'm going to look into that. And so tomorrow evening will be the cosmic forces for Set, which is egoism, and Heru, spiritual aspiration. And then Sunday, we have in the morning, a Set goes forth. And then there's a few more this week. On October 12th, the black land is given to Heru, the red land is given to Set. And then on the 14th, the festival of establishing Heru as king, the appearance is before Ptah. So that's what's coming up. And I told you how to get the calendar. And again, if you want more information on the wisdom teachings, visit EgyptianYoga.com. If you want more information on the music that I'm presenting, visit my music site, tachia.com. The replays are posted on YouTube and Instagram TV. However, at the end of October, I will be deleting my Facebook and Instagram accounts, and will be focusing on other platforms such as Pinterest, Spotify, Telegraph, Twitter, Etsy, and of course TikTok and YouTube. This is simplifying my life and getting away from a Setian force in the internet realm known as Zuckerland. I call it Zuckerland, Mark Zuckerberg. So if you want to stay tuned with me on Instagram, please drop me a note so I can connect with you on another platform, or you can just look for Tachia Ahmet on your favorite platform, and maybe I'll be there. Okay, so do it for those of you who stay to the end, and do it to those of you watching the replay. The last announcement I have is that if you are enjoying or resonating with these presentations, please consider making a donation to the Asmatashi Temple of Divine Light Healing and Sweet Sounds. And you can do that at Cash App, Ahmet El Maat, or PayPal, paypal.me/lightbeingwellness. And that will be most appreciated. Dua, see you tomorrow evening at 6:45 p.m. A tap. Many, many thanks.